Hello everyone, welcome to the 5th episode of Critical Role. As a heads up too, unfortunately we're going to be down one Scanlan this evening. Sam could not make it tonight due to work, but that's okay. The bard will be in our hearts for the evening. The party has initially been sent down on a mission by the Arcanist Alora Vysorin in search of a halfling paladin who's gone missing, named Lady Kima of Vord. A folk hero and very respected individual, she went on a vision quest and apparently went alone into Craghammer seeking some sort of great evil that was festering beneath the city. It hasn't been seen for weeks and weeks. The party was hired by her to go and try and find her whereabouts and hopefully bring her back safely. Since traversing and meeting individuals in Craghammer, they then spearheaded into the Grey Spy mines, where apparently these monstrosities have been burbling out time and time again over the past few weeks. Pushing down, they had encounters with Umber Hulks. They managed to acquire some Duragar, which apparently there's a lot of them down here. Duragar being an ashy-skinned, subterranean, dark, evil dwarf-type offshoot. One of which had with it a brain-type quadruped that managed to brain spike Grog and send him catatonic for a short time. They, wandering through the caverns, discovered there was a Duragar war camp across the way from across this large chasm that was currently being run by a general Duragar alongside what appeared to be, and what they've now discovered to be, a mind flayer, an illithid. They managed to, upon looking deeper into this cavern, finding hidden behind a waterfall, thanks to the druid and the ranger completely stealing from the rest of the group their flying carpet, made a very tenuous relationship and alignment with another mind flayer, apparently cast out of his own society, searching to find a way to both get revenge and find his way back into his colony of people. His name was Clarota, lovingly called Clarence by the group, probably much to his own chagrin. After which they decided to go ahead and try and extract information from this Duragar general and stop this war camp from preparing itself for battle and its attack seemingly on Craghammer in the near future. Through a strange, crazy plan they came up with, they managed to fly undetected over via flying carpet, giant eagle, and floating sorcerer over the entire war camp, made a Metal Gear run into the center of their main barracks, threw a bucket of goblin shit into the face of the one mind flayer, after which VOX bisected it pretty much in one surprise round of attacks, led into a large battle in the center of this building, partway through of which the ground began to rumble, and then digging forth from underneath a bullet, a gargantuan armored burrowing creature that was hungry and very dangerous, that then made the battle that much more intense. A heavy, blood-filled battle later involved with Percy getting his hand caught and firing his gun into the gullet of the beast. Eventually, it had its armor pulled apart and was defeated by the party. The remnants of the Duragar army in the side of this building have been destroyed, aside from a few stragglers that have laid their weapons down, and the general now lies beaten on his knees before the rest of the party. And that is where we pick up and begin. The general is currently on the ground, warhammer at his side, blackened armor, still kind of sizzling with arcane energy from his temporary banishment via Scanlan. He sits there with this kind of gnarled, brackish beard, looking about the rest of you with these wild, kind of white, coated eyes.
So you found your way in. What's your purpose? What do you want from me?
Vax walks right up to him, walks behind him, grabs him by the hair, and right back to this position. Let's have a talk. Vexalia, we should have a chat.
We're looking for a halfling. Have you seen one?
What are you talking about?
A female halfling.
I take my dagger and stick it in about a centimeter and say, your master is gone. It's just you and your friends here now. I think it's in your best interest to talk. You could walk away from here. You don't have to die. If you can play nicely.
And believe me when I tell you, he usually kills everybody. He doesn't give that offer very often.
Go ahead and make an intimidation roll.
First roll tonight.
Yeah. Natural 20!
That's a way to start. He kind of chuckles deeply against the strain.
Your halfling lass was foolish. We took her. We delivered her to King Murgle as a present. If she lives, she's probably ruined and broken deep within the dungeons of Emberholt.
Hey guys, we should press him
for information about like a secret.
Just a couple
Can
more
I-
questions. Oh, go ahead.
Can I start speaking to him in Underdark?
Before,
Tell me about the hidden passages. I know there are some. I'm good tonight.
What does Underdark sound like?
it's kind of reminiscent of Black Speech from the Tolkien universe. It has that kind of guttural, very,
right, that.
very deep, a little bit of like a whispering darkness to it. As she speaks this tongue, it catches a lot of you off guard. You've not heard her use that tongue till this point.
No passages to the stronghold, but there is a way in, aside from the front, because good luck getting in there from that point.
Tell me about it.
Is it through the lake?
Yes, through the lake. Deep below you'll find a tunnel. This tunnel will lead you to a subterranean passage straight to the stronghold.
Can we check to make sure it's not
Make an insight.
16?
Nah, he's bullshitting through his teeth.
Oh, okay.
He's basically following her lead.
You're lying.
Perhaps.
Tell us true. Where is it?
If I tell you, will you let me live?
I think that's very reasonable.
I think that's reasonable.
Are you alive?
We'll leave you alive.
Yes.
Don't just leave me alive. Give me a chance to walk from this building on my own, arms intact.
No. I walk over and pick up his big warhammer and say, you maybe leave, but I get to keep this as a souvenir.
I'll attempt to read his surface thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
If he tries to keep it from me, I'll know.
He puts one hand in front of him and his eyes gleam with a sickly green hue. You can see the general kind of leans his head back for a second and begins twitching an eye. The sweat begins to beat around his brow.
Let me live. Let me go, and I tell you, this isn't necessary. I'm willing to give you the information.
And you can see a trickle of blood beginning to pour out of one of his nostrils.
Clarota,
Wait.
does he know anything about Kavan?
Let me see.
And the mind flayer pushes once more into his brain. You can see a twitch to his face as his head kind of lolls back and rolls for a second, resisting as best he can. The blood begins to stream, not from his nostrils, but now from his ears as well, as Clota releases him for a second and goes,
He has not seen Kavan, but knows a bit of his nature. I cannot read it, but we could press for more information. Kavarn was responsible for forging the Alliance for centuries and generations. His people and mine killed and fought. It wasn't until Kavarn came that we decided to work together for a common cause. Expansion, unification, dominion over this land and these mountains. Divided we were weak, petty, greedy. But with Kavarn leading us, we have purpose, we had growth. We could take what we like. And on but one's worth. If I fall here, many more will take over where I fell.
Well, we can see that's obviously worked out really well for you. I think that I'm satisfied. Are you satisfied?
What kind of creature is Kavan?
What is Kavan?
I have not seen Kavarn personally.
You've heard rumors, though.
What I know of Kavarn, a being of immense intelligence, a creature that needs not walk this earth, one that does not touch the land of which it traverses. I know it sees all. It smiles from a toothy maw and laughs in the darkness, protruding from its forehead one nasty, gnarled black horn. A terrible source of its dark power. That is what's been rumoured. You leave me unspoiled
Well,
of my
Sam-
life, and I tell you the way into Emberhold.
In fact, we'll be keeping your weapons, your armor, and I believe your pride.
Yes.
You may even outrun the dwarves we're about to set free.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Emberhold is the fortress of our people, built to resist assault from all sides. Their best bet is on the left side of the fortress, There are 2 streams of molten rock that pour down the side. The smaller of those 2 streams covers a secret tunnel. However, how to get through the lava, that's up to you. I've done my deal side of the bargain. Let me free.
Stepping behind, I take my knife and I cut his belt loops and let his pants fall, and give him a little nudge.
So his belt falls, change purse and everything. He is wearing full plate black armor,
Sure.
so his trousers do not plummet. He picks up his warhammer.
I don't think so. No, that's mine. As a token to remember you by.
Unspoiled was the deal.
No, it's great. You
Wasn't
can
the
really
deal.
argue all you want to, or I'll just smash your fucking head in.
Takes a couple steps forward towards you, holding the warhammer out.
Yes, Marat.
Suddenly, he turns completely invisible, vanishes from sight. You hear,
7 check.
No!
at this point,
I'm gonna attack him.
before you have the opportunity,
Yeah.
he becomes visible again, about 20 feet out, and you're gone down the stairs and towards the front door. He is there, standing in place with his arms locked like this. There's now a significant amount of blood beginning to pool down his feet as he's standing there. As he's frozen in place, Clarota just kind of steps up to the front of him, grabs his cheeks and pulls his head in towards him as his tendrils slowly wrap around his head. You can see them meet at the back of his skull, and with this horrible crunching sound, you see his head shudder as his limbs go limp. You hear this dull, sickening, hollow sound. The tentacles release. Clarota releases his grip from his head, and the captain falls onto his back. Giant bloodied hole in the center of his skull.
He ate his brain!
I guess you should have left the hammer, shouldn't you? I would like to pick up the hammer.
This is a good lesson.
Clarota,
To
that
no
was
one
incredible.
else.
Clarota,
Well done.
Clarota,
That's watching.
I am a fan.
No one is watching this
Do not-
valuable lesson.
do not be an oathbreaker.
To not be in
Was that
No, when you've lost your
actually
clothes.
like a meal for you?
As you're looking, you can see there's the kind of weird purplish crimson around his tendrils as it kind of wipes it off with his hands and goes,
It's enough to sustain me a while. I was getting hungry.
Well, better him than us, I say.
yeah, so you look at the body, you find amongst all the Duragar bodies here, as you're quickly jumping around and grabbing, it's hard to count the exact amount, but you're looking somewhere in the neighborhood of about 500 to 600 gold pieces. You'll have to check later. The blackened plate armor on the Duragar itself does radiate a magical essence, as does the warhammer he was holding.
Tiberius, can you tell us anything about
How many
these
sets were there?
things?
Oh, I think Pike and Grog would benefit from these most definitely. Yeah, but I
What
mean,
is it? What was it?
There's not any kind of dark magic about the armor, is there?
it's dark in color.
Yes. Fine. So he spoke of some sort of trap door that's easy to open from within but not from outside, correct?
It was hidden by a lava flow.
Yes.
Can I harvest any natural armor from the bullet?
You can certainly try. There's plates that have been broken and cracked. You can try and start cleaving away at it.
Alright, yeah, so I started little butchers up in.
Okay, so it takes you a few minutes. You manage to get 3 saucer-shaped pieces of armor out of it.
Alright.
You could definitely get more, but then you start hearing bells going off.
Shit.
Okay.
What do I see?
I'm
still on the roof.
You don't see anything yet. You start hearing horns.
Let's go. Let's get out.
Eagle up.
to free those horns!
Big horns. You start seeing torches being
Stealth!
We need
stealth,
to get
and
out.
get out!
lit. Soldiers starting to approach.
Fly on this fucker over here. We need to get out of here. We just need to get out the way we came in.
I cast Pass Without Trace, turn into an eagle, and I scoop up the gnomes.
But I take the dust of
Hold
tracelessness
that
out of the bag of holding and I sprinkle it around the room.
cheat sheet.
Okay.
And we're all on the carpet?
Yeah,
that
carpet,
might be-
carpet's away. But this guy's flying.
Yes.
Flying grog.
So you're carrying the 2 gnomes. All of you except for Grog are on the carpet, correct?
Okay.
I'm
You're
flying.
you're flying. You can see now. Probably close to 30 or 40 Duragar have now begun rushing towards the barracks in the center of that main open area where that wooden platform was, where Scanlan originally saw the mind flare. As you rush up, you hear You hear it as Undercommon screaming, "There! Above! Look!" A stream of javelins come firing up in your direction.
I see where it's coming and I shoot a fireball.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
So there's a volley of javelins and a fireball streaking past. As the javelins strike all you guys, a moment later, there's a gargantuan an explosion as a flash of reddish light from below. A giant, fiery blooming explosion bursts in the center of that area. You can see Durgar thrown left and right. You managed to take out about 12 of them in that one blast. You guys continue cresting over the top. You can see a bunch of them are now running over to what looks like some of the siege equipment they had constructed, which includes a few large ballistae.
I think we should friggin' dive bomb towards the far tunnel. I take hold of the front of the carpet and steer it down towards the up and over along the roof and then down towards the tunnel. I'm steering the carpet.
You guys coming down, you shot up, curved around, and you're going backwards towards the bear.
Through those doors, y'all.
Another volley comes to the guys who were under stealth. So against Keyleth, you take 12 points of piercing damage.
I am no longer an eagle.
It's not an eagle anymore.
I get 0 hit points as an eagle.
Wait, what are you again?
So
Not an eagle and she's falling.
Keyleth's form shifts back into that of Keyleth. You guys are about 80 feet up.
Help!
At which point both Scanlan and Pike go into a free fall along with Keyleth.
Wait,
Are we under them? Are we under them?
No, I
No.
Are we under them?
You guys are
Where
about
they?
parallel. You guys are moving together.
Go under them!
You guys slam under the top of the rest of the group
too many
in there.
people on the carpet.
Because you lost your concentration, your flight spell also dissipates. Grog is now plummeting. The flying carpet now has too much weight and is currently giving out. Essentially, you guys were flying inside each other. The three were falling. You guys swooped underneath and caught them. However, it's too much weight to bear. The carpet's now.
How high are we at this second?
At this second, you're about 60, 70 feet up. Grog, however, goes into a full plummet. Grog's completely separate from you guys. He was flying and they lost concentration on the spell. Grog's like a stone.
Can I leap towards him?
Off what?
And do
Off
what?
of the carpet?
Out of the carpet, yes!
You leap off of the carpet?
What?
You managed to fumble out of the carpet. However, you are now just end over end falling now off the side of the carpet on your own. You're having a hard time even seeing Grog now as the world is just spinning and spinning and spinning.
So
You can attempt
now my cast Featherfall.
Featherfall. Gets to you just in time. Your descent slows. In that time, Grog has impacted.
Oh, Grog!
We're gonna hit. I'm shielding the
I'm
healer.
shielding Scanlan.
So you all brace for impact. The actual carpet's careening out of control. 18 points of damage.
I'm out.
Okay.
You're out again?
You didn't have a lot of hit points left.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
And this is the second time Grog
18 points of damage to you. The rest of you all take 36 points of fall damage except for Grog. You were a full plummet. You're going to reduce the damage
I was
slightly.
very graceful on the way down.
Yeah. You take 45 points of damage from the impact, Grog.
45?
45 points of damage.
Oh.
And leave a small crater from the
And
impact.
I take 30.
You know what?
You and Scanlan both take 36, which puts Scanlan into negative as well. You all tumble end over end, come to rest.
We just crash landed at a war camp.
Yeah. On the far end of it, thankfully, you managed to arc over them, but they're going to be here shortly. Percy's just face down in the ground, scrapes across the side of his face. Scanlan's also out.
Yeah.
Percy, go ahead and make a death saving throw.
What's our death saving?
He has 3.
What'd you roll?
9.
That's a fail. So you have mark off 1 fail on your death saving throw on your sheet.
No.
Scanlan does make his.
He's alright. I've got a healing potion out and I'm pouring
What I'm
it.
doing,
I'm pinching Percy's nose and
and
pouring
I'm
it in his
pouring
mouth.
some down Scanlan's throat.
Okay. So as you guys are running towards the back, towards the main tunnel, which you can now see, it's roughly a 40 by 30 foot tunnel. You all manage to push towards the back of the entire war camp into this tunnel, hearing behind you the distant echoing shouts of approximately 30 plus Duragar heading in your direction. You hear a few other ballistae bolts hitting the wall above you.
Are we on the tunnel?
Stone. You guys have now pushed into the tunnel.
Go to wall of stone.
There you go.
As you guys are doing this and rushing in, you're realizing there's one member of your party that you didn't think about to this moment. You now see kind of like floating via levitation ability about 30 feet away, slowly descending towards you as you're putting up the wall of stone.
Oh,
Come on, Squidworth, over here.
2 bolts go firing towards him. One whooshes overhead. A second one through his back, out the front of his chest, off the shoulder. Clorota begins to falter and begins to hover towards you, almost like trying to swim through the air in your direction.
Can I try to
Oh!
rescue him?
Now I cast Glacial Blast right under him like a slide right towards us.
This giant crystalline form of ice
Alright.
crackles up into what looks like some sort of strange
That's best.
winter festival slide that would be made for children in the center of town. With eyes kind of lulling, Clorota comes down and hits the edge of the slide, and almost loses consciousness at that moment, sliding through the ice. You guys manage to capture, grabbing his arms, lift him to his feet.
And now Wall of Stone.
You all make it into the tunnel. Keela turns around, raising her hands. The actual blackened stonework of this tunnel shakes for a second, and then a giant, thick wall of natural rock closes off the entire tunnel behind you. Completely seals it. You guys are now in complete darkness.
Light.
As the light hits, you can hear just on the other side of the surface of the stone wall, javelins, other things are being shot at the stone wall,
Yay.
but it's keeping it at bay. You guys are now at the wall, and behind you the tunnel continues into a passage you haven't seen yet.
Whatever we do from here, I sprinkle dust of tracelessness behind us the whole time like a fucking flower girl.
Can I go over to Clarota and don't try to heal him?
You might need just a second.
I've
Certainly try, yeah.
I've got a potion, so 17 points of heal.
Okay. Administering a potion to a mind flayer is an experience that very few in this world have probably ever will experience. As you kind of reach over, grab a shoulder, you look for where to put it, and the tendrils kind of like flail about, but begin to, as he notices what you're doing, kind of relax and open up, and you can now see the circular lamprey-like toothy maw of the mind flayer. It's a very disturbing, disgusting image with this kind of jagged, yellowed teeth in a circular form. You pop the cork and just pour it in. As you do, you see the wounds across Clorida's form begin to seal. The arrow is still stuck in its torso.
Can we try to pull it out?
You view up where the puncture wound is. With a little bit of Grog's help, you both grab to the edge of it, like on 3. 1, 2, 3, pull! In doing so, Clorida does take an additional 8 points of damage.
I'm sorry.
But the wound is now no longer a giant. It is not able to heal up completely. So, Clorida takes a moment, kind of grasps the wound.
I hand him a little healing potion and say sorry.
Shatters the glass, at which point you now hear poof, 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 against the stone wall.
Time to go.
Let's keep moving.
I pick up Clarota and we start running balls.
Oh, hold on a second. I take out the flying carpet. Sit on this, Clarota.
If you need it.
Be easier, yes.
Clorota gets up onto the carpet. Thank you. The carpet kind of drifts alongside you guys. You're about 100 feet back. You can now see it opening into what looks like an extension of the war camp.
Oh.
We should have gone down. What were we thinking?
You see all the equipment. Any pieces that would be of interest have either been taken, either destroyed and are broken, or have probably been moved into the war camp. It's definitely been abandoned. It no longer serves a purpose, and everything of use has been stripped and taken. There are 2 exit tunnels to this section. One that's kind of straight ahead a little bit to the left, and one that veers off to the direct left of you.
What about the general's memories? Anything there?
Kind of closes his eyes for a second.
One of these leads below. One of them leads to the surface. I can't recall which.
Go next to the one on the far left and see if I sense any like wind coming down. Is there?
Going to the one on the far left, as you're stepping, you hear a
Oh well.
against the distant stone wall that you put up.
I think we get to pick one here.
We go with haste.
Alrighty.
With stealth. With dust of tracelessness behind us.
Flower
With
girl.
a flower girl.
I'll pull out a torch. Will you light my torch?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I'll go to the left.
Yeah.
I'll take up running to the left.
Oh.
Okay.
Running?
Running.
Really running?
Running to the left.
Grog goes charging into the darkened tunnel to the very left.
Let's go, everybody.
You hear the echo-heavy footsteps of Grog disappearing into the darkness.
Grog, don't run too far ahead.
You guys give chase.
It's like having Goofy as a party member.
You catch up to Grog. The tunnel itself is about 30 feet wide, 20 feet tall, and it is a slow, continuously gradual decline and curve to the left.
Can you do another
Like a
wall?
spiral downward. You guys continue for another 20 or so minutes down before it opens up into a small alcove to the right, but the tunnel continues. This alcove, it's about 35, 40 feet in, and it looks like there are remnants here of a camp that was set up once.
I'm going to look for a seal to see if there's a seal anywhere around.
You do see on one of the walls there is a similar seal of the Bahamut.
Oh, this was her, Kim.
Kima was here.
Kima was here.
However, there are 4
Hashtag
tents
Kima
here,
was
Oh.
which means previously you saw just one from what you saw. However, glancing through, you do notice that there are a few discarded travel bags. And as you glance about, you can see in this alcove, looking at the dirt itself, it looks like there was a serious struggle. It's hard to tell. You see some of the footsteps and some of the drag marks, while mostly worn over. Elements do show some of the fairer folk. You do see one that resemble more of like gnomish or halfling origin. You see drag marks in the dirt.
They lead outside of the alcove and down?
They do, and they lead down the tunnel further.
Let's go that way, or are we resting?
Do we need to rest? I mean, I feel like we need to
rest.
get our spells back, otherwise we're just gonna get killed.
Are we being chased right now?
Possibly.
We can rest in shifts.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe seal the tunnel behind us, yeah, so that if they do come, they have to like. I can seal it too. I'm okay.
Cool.
So maybe everybody sleep.
So I do.
Okay, so you use your spell. You seal off the tunnel with pillars. You can just barely get most of the entranceway covered. All right, so you guys end up making camp.
I've got 2 firewood bundles in the bag of IKEA
I
holding.
think it's a good idea. We're fine. It's warm down here.
It's fairly warm.
Yes.
Then no.
Do I have time to do a quick engineering feat as well?
What are you trying to do, I should say?
Make an explosive arrow. I'm just in a mood.
Do you have any currently built explosives?
No, but I have gunpowder.
You managed to fasten what appears to be a black powder impact-based explosive to the tip of an arrow. It's a little weighty and unwieldy. It might not be the most accurate thing in the world, but if it hits, it's probably going to pack a punch.
Okay. I have another gift.
You do?
Explosive arrow.
This is the best day
It's a bit iffy.
As the evening transpires, you all get your evenings of rest. You guys kind of keep in watch. At a certain point throughout the evening, something perks up your ears. You begin hearing footsteps. Many footsteps.
Oh no.
How many?
How many is many
Sound
unlocked?
Sounds like anywhere between 6, 10 more. Up to the path where you guys came from.
Wait, Grog and I are the only ones
Shield it
awake,
off?
right? Grog and I are the only ones awake.
Right.
Do we lay low and hold quiet in these tents? Or do we get anyone up?
Lay low. Let them come.
I think so.
You just
Keep sleeping in shop.
No. I roused my sister quietly. She's in this tent.
Wake her up.
It's coming. Quiet.
All right. You guys quietly wait. The footsteps progress through, and there's no light source, as Durgar, for the most part, do
Can we
not
see through the
require
dark, but we can see in the
light to
dark?
see the tunnels. You guys have low light vision. It's not dark vision.
Not dark vision.
Hear the footprints go by.
Good thing we didn't make a campfire.
You hear them approach the outskirts of the alcove. As the footsteps approach the outskirts of the alcove, the rest of you sleeping soundly, unaware of what's transpiring. A few moments pass and the footprints appear to be passed downward in the tunnel. So, as you all regain consciousness and prepare yourselves for the day ahead, you guys are able to try and find your way back out now that you've been sealed in.
Can we squish through the little cracks?
No.
We have to cut it down.
You have about a 5-6 inch gap between each of them.
So we gotta break our way out of here, Grog.
Oh, do I get to hit things?
You do.
Start
my
smacking
God.
the wall.
Can I just give it a try just to see? If I make a dent?
Yeah.
Yeah. 23.
All right.
10.
Playing pillar
All right.
pinata.
Because of
So,
what burns.
as Pike, as you go and swing at the pillar, you impact with all your might, and the pillar cracks at the impact. You're like, that is awesome. And you look up a few inches and notice that Grog's axe also is in the same pillar.
Loosen it up for me!
Yeah!
You take about 5 or 6 minutes or so, and you manage to hack away enough in one of the pillars to leave enough room to squeeze through. You guys step back into the tunnel, all eventually squeezing through with the rest of your materials. About 15 minutes of travel go by, and the very air itself is becoming steadily warmer. The smell is this combination of kind of still water, groundwater type of a scent mixed with an ever-growing kind of sulfur type brimstone smell.
Smells like grog.
I would like to trip Vax.
That was quick. I saw you and you tripped me in a half a second.
Make an athletics check.
Yes! 24!
Make an acrobatics check.
Suck it, elf.
What goes around comes around, baby. 22.
Face down. Backs a slight bruise on the cheek as you go face planting into the stonework ahead of us.
I'm gonna voluntarily
What
erase
happened? What happened? Did you not stealth past that little pebble?
It's alright. When the illithid general is bearing down on your walnut-sized brain,
Yeah.
I may be there.
Hey,
I may
don't
not.
rude to him!
You guys.
Oh, I'm so happy right now.
These cabins are getting to us.
Pike, did you ever fully tell us what all you saw in your vision? And have you, perhaps had any more visions?
I did. What? So when I stayed away, I went to a shrine of Serenray, just to sort of see, because I had a feeling that I'd been here or something like that. So in this vision, there was a single twisted horn of blackened soul matter. It was a point of concentrated evil.
His horn?
Yes. And it was so strong that I couldn't stay in the vision because I could feel that it was taking over.
Can you lead us the direction to go?
Yes, if I see things that are familiar, such as a jagged onyx-colored fortress framed in molten rock, past a field of broken glass and bone. The prettiest was into a cavern of blue crystal, where a fungal fortress, sort of entwined an ancient city of marble and jade.
Clarota kind of nods and says,
It's where the colony resides.
Your colony.
Oh, a great city. That is where the temple resides, where Kavan holds the elder brain.
This is where we need to go, I'm assuming.
He sounds like a real fun guy.
I bet.
Trip him again.
So I bet the fortress.
make a will saving throw.
What is that, wisdom?
Yes.
Well.
You feel a mental slap as Clarota glares at you from across the tunnel.
There'll be none of that. My prison.
I got bitch slapped.
8 puns.
Noted.
You guys press forward and you begin to encounter little trickles on the ceiling of orange glowing
Avoid that.
little puddle. Progressing further down, you start seeing large clusters, little pools of molten rock beginning to form under certain sections. And a little ways up, you begin hearing some additional footsteps to your own, further down the tunnel.
Oh,
Further out of us.
can we
Yeah.
stealth?
As you guys hold back, you guys push ahead, and you can see the little points of glowing light where these lava pools every 100 or so feet begin to appear. You begin listening out, and you hear these footfalls are very heavy.
Oh, let me play, please.
I'm listening. I'm trying to make out how many sets of footsteps I can hear.
You hear 2 sets of heavy footsteps. And you hear what sounds like some sort of a squeak sound, like a... From around the edge, you can just barely make out these 2 lumbering humanoid shapes. You can see they're now both dragging behind them this small roughshod cart.
String a rope across.
Okay, you pull rope across. As they begin to cross in front of you, you go pull taut on the rope. Falls forward, tripping face first in the ground with a heavy. You guys hear in the distance this loud thud, this impact sound.
And we call.
ahead.
I go. Grog!
I'm rage.
And I leap out, daggers.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Yeah!
Back here in one.
These are really big.
That's just fallen over there.
Do we get a surprise at all?
You do, actually. I'm just rolling initiative so we have the order, but you guys are going to get a full round of surprise on the
Okay,
over.
cool.
Vex of Vax, you guys get a surprise round.
Already
Awesome.
jumping in the air, so
Yep.
I'm gonna go 62 points of damage.
62 points of damage. You leap on and entirely eviscerate the ogre. You jump onto its back, slash into its back of its torso. As you pull open, and it kind of gives this horrible gurgling sound as it dies immediately on the spot.
What? Instantly?
Nice.
All right, your turn.
I Hunter's Mark him,
All right.
and then I'm gonna shoot him with the explosive arrow.
Yeah!
Like,
So, as you pull the arrow out, it's a little wonky. It arcs slightly, smacks in the side of its chest and stomach area with this cacophonous explosion sound that rocks the immediate vicinity. It takes an additional 2d8 points of explosive damage. And everything around it also takes the additional damage this whole
shit.
radius does.
I didn't pick up the cart.
The wood on the wheel side shatters and breaks and falls to one side. Some sort of a glass container that was in the back of the cart shatters and cracks.
Oh no.
I'm still happy.
Well,
still pretty cool.
So, Tiberius, you're up first.
Pretty good. I'll take a few steps forward and be like, oh, this is poppycock. And I'll choose a scorching ray.
You blast the ogre with 3. As each explosion hits, you see the rippling of its kind of grotesque flesh from the impact. The third one blasting off a portion of its shoulder, exposing this meaty bone and blood. It gives out this horrible into the tunnel itself, causing just the atmosphere to shake as bits of stone begin to rumble and fall from the ceiling. It's still standing, barely. It's now its turn. It steps away. It's just going to charge through, as all it can see is the figures in the distance. At which point the cart seems to shift slightly.
oh no.
Yes.
What did we
You
do?
can see something
we open?
slowly, something dark, something
I thought it was gonna be a good thing.
amorphous and liquid in nature begins to shift
Is
in
it-
the shadows.
Oh no,
Great.
is it on fire so we can
No.
see? Is it on fire so we can see what it is?
No.
Oh my god.
The
It's
cart
just
wasn't
this
on fire?
giant,
It's dangerous. It's fucking
black,
dangerous.
is
liquid,
It's black
ooze-like creature that's black.
We just opened Pandora's box.
This is really, really bad.
Fucking dangerous.
Great.
I'm sorry, I
Stay away
exploded
from it.
it.
Stay away from it. Stay away from it.
So, don't wrestle.
All right.
French
Go jump
kiss
in
that
it, is
shit.
what you're
It's
saying.
mine.
Ah.
Huh.
I'm scared of it.
Black ooze.
Ranged
All right.
attacks.
What does the black goose do?
Fire
How do I handle that?
and ranged
So-
attacks.
That brings
Fire?
us to
Thanks.
Scanlan. Scanlan's gonna go ahead and sing a song of inspiration.
When we
Say to
have to
Grog,
fight
just in
the
case we need to.
ooze.
Scanlan's then going to cast invisibility on himself as a immediate self-sustaining reaction. Vex. So lightning arrow.
Yes, I do.
As the arrow disappears into its form, bolt of energy. As you pull out the arrow and release it, it sparks. And you can see the blue energy kind of streaking behind the arrow. It plunges into this thick, black, gooey mass, and as it does, the lightning just gets absorbed into its form. It sits for a second, shakes and quivers, and then splits,
Oh no.
dividing into 2 separate, smaller
Ah!
slides. Seemingly unaffected by the damage of the lightning, other than the fact that you altered its form slightly.
Great, cool, awesome.
Vax, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna run up the back of Tall and Ugly and try to stab him. I'm gonna do the reach around again and try to stab him in the eye.
Don't reach around.
52.
52. As you reach behind, the daggers plunge into it, and the ogre that was lumbering over doesn't have any more to its life. Its jaw just goes slack as it releases the last bit of air in its lungs, tumbling forward, piling onto its friend.
As it does, I want to use my bonus action to spring off its shoulders towards my friends.
Okay. Okay. This ogre then plummets to the ground, now piling on top of his friend, Percy.
I'm gonna step forward and off to the right a bit. I'm gonna try an ice shot.
Ice shot. Okay. The bullet pierces its form. You can see part of its gelatinous physical structure quiver. The ice explosion you see go off and just get absorbed into the gelatinous form, seemingly unaffected by the additional damage. Both shots into it, you can see its form kind of quiver at the impact, but it's still slowly slithering forward. Keyleth.
Will my thorn whip reach him? My 30-foot range thorn whip?
Sure, try.
gonna try and thorn whip him.
Okay.
1
All right. Takes
piercing damage, but I pull him 10 feet closer to me. Does he go into the lava?
Gets pushed just ever so slightly into the as it does, you can see this blackish steam and smoke begin to billow up from where it hits, and it begins to quiver as you're kind of yanking it back with the thorn whip. It's an additional 17 points of fire damage. Do it.
Fire damage.
Nice.
Pike, you're up.
So, something called insect plague.
Okay. Yeah, you can get these both in there if you want.
Okay, so I'll try to get them both.
Okay. All right. One makes it save, the other doesn't. So what's the total damage?
25.
All right. So one takes 25, one takes 13.
Wow.
Piercing damage. Got it. Does that stay?
Concentration up to 10 minutes.
So you can keep it there if you want to.
I'll just keep
And
it.
just does damage every turn to everything in that radius.
Awesome, let's just keep it.
Grog, you're up.
I would like to pull the flaming hammer out of the bag of holding, and I would like to run at
No, you'll get hit in the insect cloud.
this guy. What?
All right.
You'll get hit in the insect cloud.
Stay away from
Four.
insect cloud.
I forgot it was an insect cloud.
That's as far as you can get currently.
Oh, 'cause
it's
there are
rough
bodies
terrain
in
and
the
you have to
way.
jump over the bodies to get there.
Wait, but my natural.
Then if that's as far as I can get, I would like to take the hooded lantern I have out of the bag of holding and
Difficult terrain
throw
does
it.
not slow my group's travel when this is my favorite terrain.
Oh!
So you just go charging up over top of the ogre bodies, leaping, coming down with the hammer, you said?
Yes, with the flaming hammer. Activating the flaming properties of rage
Okay.
and urine.
Flame on.
Alright, so as you come running over, leaping in the air over the ogre bodies, you come down and slam the hammer once into the side, the fire catching on the metal, on the black iron as it streaks through the air, lighting up the cavern around you. You guys see this like red arc as Grog comes slamming down into the ooze. First one, it hits, boom, smacks the flames, ignite on the impact. You can see it kind of freaks out and quivers back with this screeching sound. As it does, there's a splash of the black ichor that hits your shoulders. And you feel it burn and bite into your torso. You take 10 points of acid damage.
Oh shit.
You reach back, not even thinking. The frenzy in your brain, you feel like just seeing blood and red in your eyes. You slam down for the second strike. Deal the second impact. Once again, a spray of black across your body. You take an additional 10 points of acid damage. This one pulls out of the lava. Takes an additional 2d10 from being in at the start of its turn. Both of them flank over to Grog. Both of the creatures, they up next to you. These pseudopods kind of come billowing out, slamming into you with the force of an extremely thick, heavy battering ram. Both impacts slamming into your body, the leftover sludge begins to eat away and corrode the flesh upon impact. You take a total of 56 points of acid damage.
What?
Clarota is going to move up to here. He's going to attempt a lightning bolt against this guy here. Clarota pulls back, releases the
Why
bolt
would
of flesh.
Clarota use a lightning bolt when he saw that the lightning did not work for me?
Clarota did not see it.
Where was Clarota?
Way back.
He's a fucking
That's right.
He's got this, but he doesn't have this. He's weak. He's hanging
All
this.
right.
Clarota, as it released the bolt of energy, it streaks past through the air. It arcs into the side of the entity, which then absorbs it. Clarota's eyes go wide for a second. Nervously looks at its hands and puts them back underneath its robe. The entity divides once again.
Darn it.
At this point in time now, the loud ruckus you hear
Yep. No, I'm not an upper Hulk.
Is it another one
a
of those?
pair of clacking sounds, and you instinctively look up in the ceiling and you see two large creatures clinging to the ceiling, scurrying across with these strange hooked hands, before both immediately leap down from the ceiling.
Are you freaking kidding
What are
me?
those? What is that?
He's trying to kill us.
No.
What is this?
These two large, armored, beak-faced, subterranean creatures with shells on their backs and giant hooked arms leap down from the ceiling. One is going to attempt to strike with both of its hook attacks at Pike.
Pike is in here!
This one is moving over Tiberius. And
Oh,
attack twice from
Tiberius,
that.
our soft, vulnerable spot.
Right, you take 11 points of piercing damage,
Okay.
wherever she is, and the other one misses, clinging against the armor. The hook scrapes across the metal, leaving this extremely loud sound. The other one goes twice against Tiberius. That is a 16
Well, you're 17.
and a 9. Both miss. Barely getting out of the way. Tiberius, you're up.
I'll cast telekinesis and I hurl him over my head.
The creature in front of you lifts up in the air and starts flailing about with its hooks, trying to find some purchase in the ceiling. You toss it over, and it lands squarely into the pool of lava in the center of the tunnel. You hear it screeching in pain as it begins trying to find its way out. All right, that is 45 points of fire damage on it immediately as it's slowly sinking into the pool of lava.
I use 2 sorcerer points, and with the other one I do glacial blast at the other guy.
The other one there? Right now, because of the level of darkness that's in the room, because of its distance from you, you just managed to fire just out of the range of the creature. It hits the wall behind it, leaving this slick of ice across the stone wall behind it, but unfortunately not the actual creature.
Okay. As I'm missing it, I'll form it to a spike at the end, where the wall's hitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's now an ice spike jutting out the side of that wall right there.
Yes.
Scanlan,
Yeah, come on, Scanlan.
sees Pike in great danger, sings a quick little ditty to go ahead and give an inspiration dice to Pike. Scanlan is going to attempt to dominate the monster. It does not make it. The creature that was harrowing Pike suddenly drops its claws for a second, turns away from you, and starts looking back towards the oozes and grog. Vex, you're up.
I guess I'll attack the one that's in the lava.
Okay.
22.
The one arrow disappears. The second one, as you release it from the bowstring, you feel the slight tingle of the arcane energy release into the arrow. The arrow bursts into flame as it releases from your bow, streaking and piercing the front of its hide as it's trying to claw its way out. Both of its claws are on the edges of the lava as it's pulling itself, screeching, its mouth and eyes wild with the severe pain it's feeling as it's slowly melting from the bottom. The arrow into its shoulder bursts into flame. It's now freaking out. It looks like it's having a really, really rough time making its way out. Vax, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna run over the dude in the lava. I'm gonna jump on land right around here
right.
between the 2 little slimes.
You jump, impact, and barely land next to them. It does get one swipe of attack opportunity on you as you pass by. So as you leap off of it, its hook swipes up towards you. 14 points of piercing damage.
I'm gonna hit the one closest to the party first.
Okay. So as you rush, you leap off, take the scratch in the air from the hook horror creature. You land on the ground, slash one with your dagger, slash the other. Both slashes are almost simultaneous, and as you hit, you feel your blades gain purchase in both creatures. And you look down at your arms as the horrible burning sensation filters into your hands as the splashback. 20 points of acid damage from the melee attacks you took against the creature. What you got?
I'm going to take 2 shots at the little oozes.
This one here?
Yeah, that one. So it's 23 points of damage plus 3 points of fire damage.
Whew, 26, nice.
Yeah, boy.
All right.
Kill the oozes.
Hela.
All the oozes are still alive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bamf into an eagle.
All right.
And I'll fly over everything. I'm gonna land right about here.
There.
Uh-huh.
All right.
And I'm gonna do Thunder Wave,
So you're
which
coming,
is
coming out of eagle form.
so I'm coming out of eagle form. I'm just
Okay.
using the eagle to fly.
Okay.
Coming out of eagle form, and I'm gonna do my Thunder Push.
So push right there. Pike.
Okay, can I sprinter's boot over to Grog? I'm going to cure wounds.
All right.
24. So you heal 24.
Thank
Nice.
you. Rock. I would like to come out of my rage,
All right. So this is level 2 exhaustion.
pick up Pike, and run this way. Back
Okay.
towards this area.
All right. So you pick up Pike. Level 2 exhaustion. Your speed is halved. Okay. So you can only
Messed
move.
everything up.
Hey man, if I can
20
be a
feet.
hero.
I'll leave Pike where she is, and I'll run up and flank Iceberg, Lobster Face.
Right there?
Yeah.
As you run past both of those
Yeah, both of
slimes, lash out with pseudopods as reactions. So 2 attacks against you. Right. So both slam you for 24 points of bludgeoning damage with an additional 56 points of acid damage.
Wait, what?
Conscious.
Guys.
Grog falls face first, right next, right, like literally cradling his unconscious body is cradling the 2 dead ogres right now.
No!
This slight sound of as the acid is like sizzling and scarring
Nobody
his flesh.
attack the things up close.
That brings us to their turn.
Oh no! All of our heavy hitters are dead.
So this one's gonna move here
Oh, hello.
towards Pike. You go ahead and get an attack of opportunity on it if you like.
Yeah.
As it
Get it.
slips away.
11.
You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage from the impact of the pseudopod with an additional 28 points of acid damage.
Son of a gun.
Okay,
Pseudopod?
so
The other two are going to attack you.
Sure they are. So I use uncanny dodge on the one that hit.
All right. So as opposed to 40, you take 20 points of damage total from the bludgeoning and the acid.
Oh, I am rough, kids. I am rough.
Clarota is going to step forward to there. Taking a note from Tiberius, uses his telekinesis spell. The Arcanist marks on its body flare up, and as it does, you can see this large creature gets lifted up and slams on top of this hook horror.
That's awesome.
Pushing it further into the lava and doing additional acid damage to the hook horror.
yes.
Completely dissolves and melts the hook horror.
Yes.
As it pushes down, the ooze just touches the edge of the lava. 5 points of fire damage. The hook horror's turn, who is currently dominated by Scanlan, is going to rush forward to the edge here, slams its hooks down into the ooze, causing the ooze to get pushed further into the lava. As you see, it's forming and dissipate and slowly disintegrate into the pool of lava. He's going to try and make a saving throw against the domination effect. Rolls a natural 20. Breaks the effect. However, I feel like it did its good for the turn. Tiberius, you're up.
I'm gonna cast Glacial Blast again, but I'm gonna form a giant spike once more and jam it right in his asshole.
Alright, so it does make a saving throw.
Okay.
Unfortunately, so it doesn't push him into the lava, but it does slam him and does a shit ton of damage to him.
I'll spend another 2 points, and I'm gonna do another one. Up his ass again.
Makes a saving throw again, unfortunately. Not push him. Scanlan's turn, for the hell of it, run up and make an attack.
F him up, Scanlan.
Let's go, Scanlan.
12 points of damage.
Woo, Scanlan.
Yeah,
Go, Scanlan.
The blade swings down to where the ice has encrusted the back of its armored shell, cracks open the back of its armored shell, almost peeling it open like a shrimp. You can now see all of its fleshy innards are exposed to the outside. It's looking extremely close to death. It's screaming in pain, kind of thrashing about now. Vex, you're up.
I'm gonna attack one of the oozes instead.
The one right behind you.
The one that behind him.
With a sickening sound, the ooze splatters across the floor, leaving the small sizzling pool that's scarring the rock below it. Vex.
Alright, I walk back about 15 feet and then throw daggers at it.
Both daggers? Alright. Both daggers splash into it. You can see where they would slowly begin to be scarred and damaged.
Except that they teleport back to my blink.
Percy.
Alright. I'm just taking the shot.
The first shot hits and the ooze kind of quivers. It leaves this kind of gaping hole. It begins to slowly reform itself. Before it can, you see that other weak spot where the top of its physical form is barely wavering and it's able to keep corporeal. You aim the second shot. As you fire, it detonates, and that portion of its upper torso, whatever it would be, gets flung off and splats against the wall, the rest of it slowly liquefying as the rest of the slime is destroyed.
Yeah, buddy.
Keyleth.
Once again, I'm gonna thorn whip this bitch.
All right.
8 points of damage,
Okay.
and I pull him.
How do you want to do this? So as the creature splashing about with its claw.
So I take my thorn whip and I go whoosh, and I grab him and I see he's still struggling. So I take another one and I go whoosh on the other one and I just go Spider-Man style. I go whoo.
And as you do it, plummets face first into the both into the magma and the slightly still sizzling form left over from the
Magma
that
and
had melted
acid.
there.
And just for flavor, I take a big gust of air, a big wind burst, and I go whoosh down into the lava pool, encrusting it all.
As you do, it slams down. You hear it scream. Underneath its body begins to quiver. The wind burst hits, and the cool air rushes through the tunnel. All of you guys, your hair and everything is blown back for a second. You have to cover your eyes. And as you look back, the magma has cooled to a solid rock covering surface. As darkness falls back into the tunnel, to near pitch. As Tiberius hits light in the tunnel, you look down and you can see the hook horror, which portion of its upper torso is now encrusted into the actual cavern floor.
I'm gonna go over to Grog and cure wounds. 5 points of heal.
Thank you.
As Grog, you come to consciousness again.
Did I kill it?
You did, Grog.
Yes,
Good
Grog, you
job.
killed it good.
Also,
I put my hand in my pizza.
You killed them. You killed them all, Grog. You were magnificent.
Hey, Grog.
Tell me more.
22 points of
to everyone.
Everyone. Everyone heals 22 points damage.
Thank you, Bob.
Oh, you're welcome, Grog. My best pal.
All right.
I'm going to be the person who actually examines the cart.
So go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Investigation check.
As you guys take a moment to heal yourselves, you pull yourselves back up to your feet, you tread further down this tunnel. Another 25-30 minutes of the slight curvature, it gets to get steeper and steeper until eventually it opens up into a familiar cavern to some of you. You see a large waterfall pouring down from above.
Bitches.
You see
Looped around.
you're on the outskirts of where the next tunnel opens up, where there are a few small streams of lava pouring from the ceiling. You can look above and you can see the top of the downward cavern. There's the giant lake beneath, and across the way you can see the waterfall where Clarota was originally discovered.
We should
At
go
least
pick up
you
Trinket.
get your bear.
Trinket!
Let's go pick up Trinket.
I'm not sure I
We left
understand.
Trinket
Can
over
you
there.
explain with your map?
So
Yes.
We're
we
at the
went
bottom
down
of the
and went down,
We
down,
went
down.
I
down.
can't tell we doubled back,
Yeah.
but it would
So,
help to visualize
Double back.
it.
And I'll have more of this for you guys next week.
It was a warp too.
The path you guys took essentially led to this back area, which I'll draw for next week, in a tunnel that led curved all the way around and exited right there.
We'll go get Trinket, and then we'll go down the path we should have gone down in the both place next week.
So taking the flying carpet, it's a very precarious journey, as the weight limit for the
You go in.
carpet.
He's with me and he casted.
You can go ahead and cast Fly on your bear. Trinket awkwardly manages to swim her way down to the bottom floor. As you make your way to the base of the watery lake in the bottom, you can see it swish through the water, and a very familiar sight briefly shows itself in the distance as you see a slick, domed, fish-like head protrude with a few tentacles in the distance. You all instinctively step quite a distance away, and it seems to withdraw back into the water. Clarota once again whispers to the rest of you,
Stay at bay. Yeah, but this dangerous.
you all step back and turn now into the tunnel that descends further into the heart of this mountain. You can see streams of lava pouring from the top occasionally, and one central flow of molten rock tends to fill half of the cavern, like a small river heading down into the base of the mountain. This is very familiar to you, as this is the path that your dream took
Guys,
you.
this is really familiar to me. So,
As you guys continue to beginning to step into the next length of your subterranean journey, we'll pick that up next week. Guys, thank you all so much for tuning in to Critical Role. Some intense battles.